So it's the Red Army. How y'all doing? This is Colin Ulrich.
And I'm Rangroo, low, low, low.
And keeping with our new let's hurry up and get started kind of intros, we are today on Babur. Rang, what's going on?
Left hand side in blue, we have Gearhead 117 playing as Hermann Gorin, Foutshaker Division, Foutshaker Panzer Division, and right hand side we have Noob playing 44th Infantry Division, both of them with a Vanguard income.
It feels good to get back to some classic ones. It was kind of nice to kind of dabble in the kind of new Finnish divisions, but kind of feels nice to get back to a classic matchup.
Yeah. The Hermann Gorin is always a pretty fun division to see, as really have a little bit of everything, as well as really big, screw you, heavy artillery guns. And 44th is just the Soviet infantry division. Like classic, no frills, bare bones, but by god it works. And it's really working down south with this half-track opener.
Yeah, I mean, it feels to a certain degree. I feel like I might be wrong here. I feel like these guys almost look like they're moving in like fast motion here.
It
Also,
feels, yeah, it feels like it.
I just literally pulled my. Wait a second. We were down at 1 second per, right?
American muscle, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm so used to like these big, built Ford tough trucks. But nice to see some zippy dippy half tracks at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that the early kind of haste has paid off. Of course, on the opposite side of things, Gearhead has gone into the testicle with a fair number of
Hey.
T-34s, SPW, and some big grenadiers. So gonna be kind of hard to shift them out of it pretty easily.
Yeah, both divisions have really good infantry options. Those big elite dudes are fantastic in close quarters, but Saparis are kind of better in a forest fight. Especially when there's three of them.
Yes, indeed. And even with the associated, let's say, T-34s there. Ooh, I didn't even see that, though. We have a 42, M42 45 mil up on that hill. I kind of even forgot that he was right there.
Yeah. And the forest fight is pretty much going in Rondanu's favour. Yeah, the pioneers are gonna get killed.
I'd imagine that pretty quickly. Now, unfortunately for Wonder Noob, we aren't going to see those tanks go down very easily. We
Oh.
might get a bit of freak out, but that's about it.
Yeah, he does have the guard DP squad, yeah, with AT rifles, so maybe if you get like a flanking shot, but apart from that, not much you can do.
But that's okay, because if you look down to the south, that all he's got to do in the testicle is hold some ground. Down south, he's definitely getting into the bush. And that's enough from the section windows for today. But even then, Pioneers moving back into the east with MP44s. We got some more kind of Flammenwerfers moving in. But the weight of fire is going to see them getting chased out pretty quickly, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good position on that southern hill. We are seeing a Messerschmitt 410s. Really, what Gearhead needs to dislodge this hill position is airplane and artillery fire. Going up on the hill without, any fire support is gonna be deadly, especially with lightly skinned vehicles.
Yes, indeed. It won't be really a bridge too far, like a forest too far, but while he is able to take out a couple of those infantry squads very quickly, let's not forget the firepower those things can bring to bear. There are more tanks moving in. In fact, I think we have some more infantry coming in soon as well. No, never mind. It's quite a bit of time yet.
I have to eat my words about light vehicles, because those 2-3 runs have pretty much killed all the infantry, and almost killed his T-34. They're actually pretty scary. I always underestimate how good autocannons can be, unless they run into an anti-tank rifle squad on a T-34.
Yep. Well, they might kill these Comporoti beforehand. No, they do not. You know what? That's okay. That's okay. Could be a heck of a lot worse.
It's real. It feels very mobile so far down south. With at least just these 2-3 runs just shipping about the field, getting some good flanking shots.
Seems about right. It's a little weird to see a tank like this on Nikki with a flame icon.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because you think it's like a flamethrower unit, but they just got some drinks they want to share.
Well, they're very giving fellows. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately for Gearhead at the moment, he doesn't have a whole lot in the southern tip. That's why you see we have a couple squads of Grenadiers and a Flammenwerfer troop backed up by Jagdpanzer moving on in. Should be enough to stabilize for the time being, unless, of course, this 45 mil can turn this road into a charnel house.
I think that's going to be the case, because yeah, once you got that hill position, it is very hard to dislodge.
Well, it ain't much better when we see this T-34 engage. Jagdpanzer as well. My friend, I know you have a pretty thick skin, but let's not test it. This isn't high school.
Mm-hmm.
The ME-410 very, very bravely going on into after that. Not sure if the best end is going to be coming his direction. Oh, wow. But the Yak is in a completely different part of the battlefield, so maybe he'll make it out alive.
Run B up north, dropping in some bombs, and that's definitely going to be very dead. Pan's going to tear squad. But it's still pretty even in terms of like victory points. So it does feel like one to Noob does have the advantage of having that southern hill. Yes, Gearhead does have the ball sack under his control, but he really needs to, push further upstream to really make the most of it.
But that's a really vital position to have. You don't have one
Mm-hmm.
hand on the balls. I mean,
Yep.
you control the balls, you control the man.
Yeah, that's how it works, Khan. That's exactly how it works.
And now I'm posting this as NSFW, but moving on. And the last German infantry does get kicked out of the forest down to the south. This becomes very much a land of vodka and honey.
Yeah, it's such a good position to have once you hold it. But hey, there's a Sturm Tiger, and that thing doesn't mess about with dealing with in fortified positions,
No, but what it doesn't do the best with is when you have an awful lot of anti-tank material that can be shot at it.
Yeah, it can
I'm
get
a little
stressed out
nervous.
pretty easily. But we'll see. I mean, it has very thick skin.
Kind of funny to me right now with this 45 mil, I think it's going to engage this Gepard. And Gepard is making the rather interesting decision to keep
Tiger's
in line of
firing,
sight.
and kaboom.
Oh wow, I took my eye off the ball for 1 second, so a giant mushroom exploded in my face.
It's such a ridiculous explosion. I
Man,
can't believe they even shot a thing at large.
that's a demolisher cannon.
Yeah. Oh, it's like -4 AP, D6 damage. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly. You got to kill Titan somehow.
Hmm.
Now the Archpanthers continue to kind of sink on in. Not sure really still the best place for him to be. I feel like that's Jagdpanzer is not a close-in knife fighter. He's a sniper. He's a hunter.
Yeah, I
Not
think
like
he's
this.
trying to get in a little bit closer so he's a better chance to penetrate. It is still a pretty safe fight for him, just as long as this T-34 76 is being brought in. But now we have a T-34 85, and that thing is a little bit of a different story.
Well, we have the SU-76s as well down to the south. These guys can come in and do some really, really hefty artillery damage.
Yeah.
Also, 152 off map going in on the testicle. We're trying to see if it can cause a little bit of consternation down there, get things riled up. Sturmtiger will be firing again in approximately 3 seconds. 2, 1, and...
Boom!
Yep.
Never get told. But yeah, that's a perfect way to deal with that hill. You just Sturmtiger everything that pops up.
Yeah, but it's one of those things I didn't never really expect it to have to take a more kind of Napoleon tactic here. Be like, okay, guys, it's got the reverse slope, and then we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now we got a mortar half track being brought in, which is also a very good call-in. So yeah, Gearhead is making the right plays in terms of taking this hill. He's got Panzer Grenadiers on the bottom edge of the slope, ready to move up. You've pretty much stopped Rondonu from peeking out and shooting from said hillside. Oh no, it's C-3045 flanking around the southern edge of it. Could potentially, knock out a few things.
Yes, if he could see anything.
Yes. He cannot Termseeker shoot again. And yeah, just slowly pick it off, guys. One by one by one.
Well, one thing he's got to be a little bit concerned about, though, is if you go about another kilometer or so to the north, T-34-45 will be engaging a T-34-42. So, I mean, I hate to say new is always better, but in this case, the maxim certainly holds true.
Yeah, I think the T-34 will definitely win this engagement. And it
You are
does.
just so wise. I
Thank
wish
you.
one day I could be as wise as you.
I always like to make safe bets.
I've heard a different term as opposed to safe. Maybe sucker is the better one? But this Pack 38 across the river will retard the progress for a little bit. Probably get his pound of flesh or two. But that said, even as we go back to a 12-12, I can't help but feel it's going to go to a 13-11 again, just imminently.
Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty back and back. Like, I feel like if Gearhead can retard the hill advance down south and get it under his control, he has a pretty good shot of winning. At the same time, Noob has managed to secure the Borsak area, and if he could cross that bridge, I feel like he's going to win. So, I don't know, it's still anyone's game.
It very much is. Now, looking down to the south again, we are like going back to check in those Panzer Grenadiers and the Elite Grenadiers. Doing rather well against the guards. Not too surprising there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you have a 3-to-1 advantage or 2-to-1 advantage. But this SU-152. Curious to see what this is shooting.
I was trying to kill Sim Tiger, which, well,
I
both
guess.
big boy guns, I guess. Yeah. Sim
But
Tiger just shoot back.
yeah, exactly. I think he'll kill him and like everything in the next zip code as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but with STMTK do have to manually shoot every shot. It's just a
Dude,
pro and a con.
when you have 14 rounds, I completely. Now, we have another artillery barrage going down in the center bridge here. The question is, how much will it hit the water? And how much will actually hit German material? And the answer to that, just yet, my friends, is a little
Hits
bit.
everything. Really cool when it hits the water.
Oh yeah, it's the
like
particle effects. It's so minimal, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. Not something you see often, but by God, that's like, I don't know, it's really cool. Also cool seeing a Pack 38 blow up the T-34. You're up north,
Yeah.
we're actually seeing a little bit of progress actually, as Gearhead is moving across the northern bridge now, with just a few flamethrowers.
It's a very meager force to move through, which is why I just seen a couple of guards in the T-30-45 moving to stabilize.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, if they can stop it before there's a breakout into the eastern town, directly east from that bridge, you have a chance.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're going to spend a lot of time digging out the Germans. That's never fun. Because the question is, does he lose his pressure other places because of this? Like right now with his Jagdpanzer down to the south, who is in the trees. Yes, I'm aware there's no crazy tanks there, but I still want to get that close.
Yeah, and I think he's realized that, and he's not even reversing, he's just running away, trying to get Jagdpanzer out of there, and even relocating the Sturmtiger as well.
Some days you gotta bravely turn and flee, you know what I mean?
Boldly flee, you know?
Yeah, just emulate the brave Sir Robin. Now IL-2 coming in, making a gun run on the central bridge, and is able to keep reinforcements out of the ballsack. I'm looking continually. Wait, did the Brigade Grenadiers in the northern edge of the map, did they do like an amphibious assault?
I feel like it. Yeah, that's a really good assault, yeah, Jagdpanzer backing him up. And that's going to be a flag under Gearhead's control. And that's really going to tip the scales in Gearhead's favour. Because there's nothing up north. You might even get a second flag.
If he deploys it correctly, yes. Now, looking at the tanks in the meantime on that central bridge, Russians are engaging AT, and the Germans in turn are trying to support their own infantry attack. Regrettably, neither side seems to be excessively successful.
No,
Whoa, 15-9. Yeah. How the heck did that happen?
Northern push, man.
Well, and the southern forest has just been completely and totally Germanified.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
We got a tiger down south and more infantry, so yeah, Gearhead is slowly turning his back in his favour. Like that northern push is, yeah, it's gonna work. He's got Panda Grenadiers and big leads firing on the guards. They are a little bit outgunned, and the Eggpounds are now joining in on the fun. So yeah, if Gearhead can bring up some stuff in that northern area to secure the bridgehead, that's gonna be huge for him getting into that town.
You'd like to think that.
Hmm.
Soviets, in the meantime, I don't know how the stuffing just completely got knocked out of them.
I don't know. He was doing really well. He had like this hill under his control down south. He's pushing through the ballsack area, but he just couldn't make it across that bridge in the end.
Well, and he couldn't hold on to the forest down to the south. That Sturmtiga definitely paid some solid dividends.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely kept Ronzanu from peeking out of the forest and really doing much damage. He was holed up inside the forest rather than using it as an effective base of fire.
Oh my god, the Sturmtiga is right in the middle of the artillery strike. This is going to be both heart-wrenchingly painful when he dies, at the same time, just incredible.
Yeah, it's also like now exposing his side armor. I don't know what he's doing with that Sturmtiga, bringing it so close.
Maybe he's trying to reduce like the spread? I don't know.
It's only like one shot. It's pretty hard to miss.
Maybe it's like a seppuku moment.
Yeah.
Well, that tree does come down. Sturmtiga for the moment is completely untouched. He leads a charmed life.
He's
Fires the main
34.
cannon.
We want to see a big kaboom. Come on, Ian. Come on, Gearhead.
Everything else around him is dying.
Yeah. But hey, having all that extra armor really helped out in terms of being shot at by artillery.
Interestingly, in the meantime, back to the north, we are going to see this wave of Soviet infantry being thrown on into the mix. A couple of Sapiris, several guards, guard Komroti, and here comes the shot. It's up. It's going to blow all this infantry away. Oh wow, that was surprisingly meager.
Yeah, I think it wasn't like a direct hit.
Well, at the end of the game, we are going to definitely see how many kills he's got. He's got several, I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
The Outposts down to the south claims another victim. This Tiger, in the meantime, lofted a couple of shells, maybe a little bit, couple bursts of machine gun fire, but really been not that useful thus far. I think more of a morale victory than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now Southern Hill is completely under gear, or almost completely under Gearhead control. Noob has kind of fallen back to the southern, like, plateau area of it. We still actually has some infantry just along that little, like, tree line area in the road, so we can, maybe get a sneaky kill.
I'm just waiting to watch the Sturmtiger continue to manscape the area. Because right now, he has no more machine gun ammo. He's got 9 rounds of his 380 HE shells. It's really bizarre to watch.
Yeah, like, usually when we see costs like this, the Sturmtiger gets a few shots off and then it dies. But he's been having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the only way to really kind of call it. Now, I'm kind of amused as well by down south having the 2 Su-76s in these trees. Yes, they fired some artillery rounds and all that, but hasn't done too much. And there goes the Jagdpanzer, courtesy of the IL-2s.
It definitely does feel like rocket planes have gotten better. Because by God, that was like one single strafing run, and that was one single dead tank.
Yes, sir.
Which is good, because rocket runs used to be so terrible.
True. Trying to see what other kind of infantry support. I'm gonna check back in the northern Soviet kind of. We're taking our territory back assault, and it's okay. I mean, it's
It's
not
something.
terrible.
Yeah. But the problem is where all of the armor Gearhead has up north, and also the more the hard track nearby, especially with all the guards being so bunched up. Same time, Noob does have off-map artillery.
Yeah, but the off-map artillery is not going to be able to engage effectively.
Yeah.
past line of sight. That therein lies the rub, so to speak. Now, the Soviets are threatening to take back the southern hill, or at least eliminate some German infantry defenders there. But it looks perhaps more prominently so that, yep, Tiger's coming on in, and when the Tiger comes out to play, everyone else runs away. Especially with a couple other tanks in attendance. Did they see that infantry in the forest? Maybe not. Maybe the Ultimate Cheeky are going to get a cheeky kill. I'm not entirely sure. I wish I could tell you what was going on there. Alright, even as the southern end of the map goes into some crazy, crazy abstract painting, the northern side, well, that's a different kind of abstract, as we see fire and flames bathe the battlefield in both directions.
Yeah, but now the guards are starting to expose themselves. And yeah, the mortars coming in, the tanks holding them down. But by God, that's a lot of T-3045s from Noob. So we definitely got a bit of an engagement going on with this Yanked Panzer here.
Now, amusingly enough, we are seeing the M42 down to the south, transmission damage on the Tiger, as he kind of blithely takes an Su-76. He's going to continue taking shots, or getting shot at least. But
that's a real sneaky position. I like it.
For the Tiger or the M42?
76.
Yes, but unfortunately, neither one of them fired at the Tiger. I mean, I don't know what the issue was there.
He just barely has line of sight. Or barely does not have line of sight.
Guards, in the meantime, fording the river, which sounds ridiculous, but I don't think I've ever seen them with the little animation of them holding the rifles above their heads.
I know, it's really cute. You know, I definitely think that river is a little bit deep to ford, personally speaking, but hey, you know, I let it slide.
Break immersion, break immersion.
Yeah. Zoom out.
Exactly, just be happy, man. You know, we got death and destruction. Isn't that beautiful? Back to the north real quick to see how that's progressing. Infantry have penetrated the town, and indeed, they're being rather effective in certainly harassing some cut-off German vehicles, as is the T-34-85s over here. Question is, can the SPWs claim a kill or two before time runs out? Well, there goes the Jagdpanzer. A T-34-85 not engaged in the SPW. I'm a little confused why the SPW is not engaging him in return. Line of sight, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Always line of sight. I think it's pretty much safe to say that Gearhead has run this match.
Yes. Yes. Even as some of these guards have tried to charge forward and maybe bleed the Tiger to death by 1,000 cuts, the Sherman infantry in the way. There's no way you're going to get through the Valkyries. And there we go. Tap out occurs, and that is a surprisingly wide KD.
Yeah, it's like 800 difference, roughly.
Roughly, yes.
But looking on kills here, T-34 85, Tazarov did pretty well. Losses, nothing super crazy. But
no, I mean, Jagdpanzers did what they need to do. Sturmtiger got a lot of stress. Tiger's got a couple of small kills here and there. It's just the death by 1,000 cuts that we see so often.
Yeah, but that was... I definitely felt like at the start of the match, seeing that initial push from Run to Noob was like, I thought he was pretty much going to win the match despite getting that hill, but Gearhead did a pretty good job of reversing fortune, moving up north, using the Sturmtiger effectively, artillery, all that good stuff.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Any final thoughts, though?
It's pretty cool if your name's Bob, because they named the whole town after him.
Yes, or maybe you're a dwarf in some sort of Tolkien world, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It definitely sounds like a dwarven horde. Bobber.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
Kind of does.
I'm using that in my own fantasy setting if I ever make one.
Sounds good. I'll be the first in line to buy it.
Ooh.
But until then, folks, until next time, or until Rang writes himself that book, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.